Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun Diary Politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun Diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun Diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun Diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh.
This one put it off in mind. Oh, yo, yo.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Lórí Facebook.
When I was growing up, let me say when we were growing up, there was this general prayer. Olúwa gbé ogun ti àwọn tí wọ́n ń gbé ogun ti wá. That is, our Heavenly Father should give fight to those who are fighting us. On this note, I say good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and top of the moment to you. This is Maiyegun Live. Many people said, why are we talking about Abba Kyari? Let us face other things, but you have no idea how interconnected this whole crime scene really works. Maybe if you spend the time with me tonight, I may be of help to tell you how they are connected. Mind you, as you are joining, share this broadcast with your friends and not so friendly friends of yours. Tell them Maiyegun is live.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Lórí Facebook. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
I have a lot to share with you tonight, and I want to try and see if I can take calls. But tell me, if the audio is perfect, just do like this. And I will know the audio is perfect. I don't want you to miss anything that I'm going to say tonight. The story of Abba Kyari is a sad story of what this quota system does. Quota system ruined Nigeria, destroyed everything that could have made a great country with great people. with a lot of sense, with a great sense of belonging. Quota system, impunity, and you know the rest brought us to this level. Abba Kyari, Boko Hari, Maguluta Crook, Babashir Lawal, Abba Kyari, the dead one. The list is endless. Where you have Boko Hari and his 40 thieves scattered everywhere, doing the same job, terrorizing the people and victimizing the people under the cover of the jihadist in chief, Boko Hari, Mumumadu, Boko Hari. So they are all interconnected. It was this same guy. It was meant to be, he's actually meant to be a great guy, by the way. Somebody who they called a special corp. He was given all access, weapons, everything, resources that he needs to fight and combat kidnapping. And to his own cap, this guy was the guy who apprehended, what's that guy name? The guy from Lagos. How did I forget that? Let me bring up his image. You remember this guy that they told us was Evans? I remember. Evans, the kidnapper. They said he was the greatest kidnapper in Nigeria. We didn't know that why they were telling us about Evans. There are many it's Evans in the northern Nigeria who are kidnapping, and they are actually like, making a kill. But I'll come to that. It was this guy. However, apart from that, the fact that he was going after kidnappers, this guy also goes after those, they give their details to him and they abrogate, they take over people's properties, just like courts, right? They take, rent on suspects' property. They'll take suspect property, right? They'll take over. And they'll sell some off. If it's car, they'll take over the cars. They'll sell some off. If it's a building or properties, houses and all of that, they will begin to take rent on that. This guy. But something happened, just like the case of Maguluta Crook. You know that Magu that they removed a few months ago, that same Magu, has been promoted to another position in the same police, in Nigeria police. But that's another story. Now, Abba Kyari is also the guy that has been working in Eastern Nigeria, hunting down innocent people, young men and women, in the name of hunting for ESN, IPOB members. Whoever he points at, if Abba Kyari holds you and he says you are a thief, trust me, there is no court in Nigeria that will stop him or can stop him from milking you, your entire family, and possibly killing you, and nobody will ask him any question. They will torture you, do all that. He is granted that immunity to do all of that. And when you look at the extrajudicial killing part of it, the one that really concerns me is what he did the last few weeks in Biafra land. He is part of those who worked with Uzodinjo in Imo State. All the killings that were carried out in Imo State under the command and the directive of Uzodinjo, including this guy, with the military. They told us that over 1,000 young people were killed. That figure is staggering. And this guy, only God knows how many he killed. Before now, we didn't know that it was just not a cloth maker. In fact, let me take it this way. When the news broke today that they have ordered for his arrest, it is a good news. Because if you look at those who are working in the recent time, they have realized that if you want to deal with Boko Hari, don't deal with Boko Hari using Nigeria. Immunity of whatever he does, as the president and those who are killing people for him in that country right now, whatever they do right now, they will say they are doing it in the name of government of Nigeria. However, people are smarter enough now to start fingering them out one by one. There are many of them who are working with Boko Hari right now who can no longer leave Nigeria. And if they ever leave Nigeria, they will either leave Nigeria under the cover of diplomatic immunity, travel with Boko Hari so that they won't be arrested. Some of them, once Boko Hari is no longer there, many of them, they will have to stay back in Nigeria and live like a ghost in Nigeria. But we'll come to that. We didn't know until FBI came out and they said they arrested Hushpuppi last year. I think it was in June last year. They arrested him in Dubai. When they arrested him for the, Hushpuppi business and 11 other people, his partners and all of them, they took them to the US. So when they got to the US, they confessed that yes, they did it. So in the process of investigating them, how did Abba Kyari come into the picture? The police officer in Nigeria that is going after kidnappers, but he's using his own position to kidnap Nigerians and kidnap anyone ordered him to kidnap by those criminals who have power in Nigeria. So when the news broke out that Abba Kyari was working for Hushpuppi, you will see pictures of Abba Kyari with Dino Melaye. You will see him with Atifku. You will see him with all these guys. These guys are money launderers. Are you with me? These guys that you see, all of them, yeah? Senator this, former president, former this and that. These guys are total money launderers. But guess what? They have been indicted on so many fronts. But because in Nigeria is a place where if you are a criminal, you will be rewarded. And if you try to question criminals, you will be punished like it is in Nigeria. If you are the greatest criminal, all you need to do is that to mingle with the worst of the worst who are in power. Then, whatever criminality you are into, don't worry. Nigeria will save you. You remember when they indicted Atifku himself in America and his wife? And even his wife had to be sent to jail. You remember that story? An American congressman, I can't remember his name right now for some of you who are very current. You remember that guy, something Jefferson or something, that got convicted? The guy that they saw dollars, bribe he took from a contract that Atiku and the rest of them had interest in Nigeria. And he had to help them lobby American Congress. You remember that guy they jailed? He is still in jail right now. Atifku would rather live in Dubai. It was that same Dubai that they picked up Hushpuppi and his other guys. And Dubai is their next headquarters. Dubai is where the first lady of Nigeria lives right now. Aisha Bokwari and her children. They live in Dubai. So from that Dubai, they said, listen, how did Abba Kyari then connect to Hushpuppi? I will show you the documents now. I will read you the part, the documentation, how Abba Kyari carried out his transaction with Hushpuppi, the self-confessed notorious fraudster, with the super cop in Nigeria. Someone just told me that, Maiyegun, how are you sure that bandits are not paying ransom they are not paying percentage to this Abba Kyari? The guy is from Borno State. Borno State, as they call him special cop, Abi. Borno State has 27 local governments. Only 4 or 5 local governments are currently occupied by people and controlled by government. 23 to 24 local government areas, they are under the control of terrorists. These terrorists, to show their authority in Borno, they elected a governor. You have 2 governors in Borno State right now. But this super cop couldn't find all the terrorists kidnapping people there, killing people there, chasing them out of their what have you. But he is so super cop. Well, I'm coming to that. FBI came out to tell us what happened. You know what Kyari said? He quickly, in their typical Nigerian manner, he came out to say those who accused him of committing a crime, they are doing so because they were his enemies. He decided to share his own side of the story. That's where I'm going to start from. Because if you go under that post he shared on social media, you will see where he stated that his relationship with Hushpuppi was that he's Hushpuppi's tailor, and he collected 300,000 naira from Hushpuppi for some Ankara and some new dresses. I didn't know that your super cop is also a super tailor. However, on his social media and Facebook today, he decided to respond, just as many people were trying to tell him that you need to respond, though. You cannot just keep quiet, oh. Super cop. You need to respond, though. Taylor. Now, This is his own response. Let me see if I can bring that up boldly by any chance. So he decided to respond. I'll read that out. It's so tiny. He said, friends, Abbas, who we later came to know as Hushpuppi, called our office about 2 years ago that somebody in Nigeria seriously threatened to kill his family here in Nigeria. And he sent the person's phone number and pleaded we take action before the person attacked his family. We traced and arrested the suspects. And after investigations, we discovered there wasn't an actual threat to anyone's life. And they are longtime friends who have money issues between them. Hence, we released the suspect on bail to go, and he was not taken to any jail. Nobody demanded for a kobo from Abbas Hushpuppi. Our focus was to save people's lives. They were purported to have been threatened. Later, he saw some of my native clothes and caps on my social media page, and he said he likes them, and he was connected to the person selling the clothes, and he sent about 300K directly to the person's account. The native clothes and caps, 5 sets, were brought to our office, and he sent somebody to collect them in our office. Nobody demanded any money from Abbas Hushpuppi, and nobody collected any money from him. We responded to a distress call he made on threat to his family and released the suspect when we discovered there was no life threat from the suspect. This is the truth story. Vincent is alive. He can be contacted. For those who are celebrating that this is an indictment on us and mentioning some fictitious big money, they will be disappointed once again, as our hands are clean and our record of service for 2 decades is open to everybody to see. They will continue seeing us serving our fatherland, and we will continue responding to all distress calls from all Nigerians, provided they are life-threatening. For good Nigerians who appreciate our service, please don't worry, as our hands are clean, and they should please not respond to those celebrating and creating many false narratives without any evidence. We are used to such types of people and false newsmakers and distributors. Beware of many fake doctored documents purportedly to be from USA that are circulating too. Thank you all, and God bless Nigeria. Our hands are clean. Oh, Mimo, my hands are clean. He said there are no evidence, and he quickly told his social media bandits, Facebook adsmen. And if you go under the comments, let me share some of them with you. You can easily tell. The post is liked by 17,000 people with 11,000 comments and 4,000 shares. However, if you go under the comments, you can read some names. Some of them are watching me right now. Maybe they will see their names on social media, on this broadcast. See? FBI is not MPF. Yeah, life is all about focus and determination. Do not look on what people will say, but focus on where you are heading to. God bless my respected officer. God bless my role model. God bless my mentor. God bless Federal Republic of that is Safiu Aliyu. Somebody else, Awa Ahmed. I trust and I stand with you, sir. This one said, we are fighting against corruption, sir. And if you are among the corrupt leaders in Nigeria, may Allah expose all you bad habits. God bless you. However, let's go. Where are the evidence? You don't say, Oyibo no be America, no be Nigeria. They will give you evidence. And before they go to face any court, and present their case, even before they effect any arrest, they will have all the evidence. Now, here are some. The parts where Abba Kyari came in. Abba Kyari worked with Hushpuppi because somebody that, hang on, let me see, yeah. Somebody who was part of a deal, a MAGA, that Hushpuppi was managing, who they have collected almost $1 million from. So this person, Hushpuppi's friend, decided to go and call Hushpuppi. So Hushpuppi, and that person is in Nigeria. So Hushpuppi had to call the Super Cop in Nigeria to help him hold that guy. And he said it was Ankara. And he also said it was because of a threat to the life of Hushpuppi's family. That's a lie. No matter what they try. I'm not saying that Bukwari is going to hand him over. Okay, don't worry. The thing is that Abba Kyari should just live in Nigeria and never leave that place. And when they are ready to take him, they will take him for what he's done, okay? Because there's already arrest warrant on him. Abba Kyari helped Hushpuppi to put somebody in jail so that that person will not have access to his own laptop, his own phones, so that he won't talk to the MAGA. He won't be able to email the MAGA. So that Hushpuppi can then control the MAGA, and in the process, Hushpuppi, when Abba Kyari owed that person in Nigeria, the partner to Hushpuppi collected, within that moment, for that 1 month, Hushpuppi collected $180,000 from that MAGA, simply because Abba Kyari helped him to hold the person. We won't spoil the job. Now, there is a case in American courts, okay, district courts, where the name, you can see it on your screen, look at the name. They said United States of America versus Ramon Olorunwa Abbas. That's Hushpuppi. Ray Hushpuppi, a.k.a. Osh, a.k.a. Malik. Abdulrahman Imran Juma, a.k.a. Abdul, a.k.a. Rahman. Vincent Kelly Chibuzo, a.k.a. Kelly. Abba Alaji Kyari. Rukayat Motunraya Fashola, a.k.a. Murayo. Bola Tito Tawakalitu Agbabiaka, a.k.a. Bola Mide. They are the defendants. Shall you see the name there? His name is number 4 on the charge list, on the charge sheet here. Okay? So he knew, he has seen it. This thing has been out since April. They've started with him since February. After arresting Hushpuppi. And this is what they found. This is how they indicted him. When you go to page, let me see. When you go to page, I don't want to read long story. I will send you the link in the comment section now. You can open it and read, okay? So this is profiling the criminals, right? This one is Juma, okay? The second in command. This is Abba Kyari. Now, this is what FBI did on him. And if any of you want to doubt this information, maybe you can begin to get your pen and paper. Start writing on one side now, okay? Abba Kyari, that's a Kyari communicated with Abbas. I will be using Hushpuppi in place of Abbas, so that for those who are listening to me to be able to comprehend and follow. Kyari communicated with Hushpuppi, primarily using the phone numbers, you know the number, +234 90 99 99 91 31 and +234 81 200 000 43, both of which Hushpuppi had saved with contact names including Abba Kyari, as discussed below. Kyari's message to Hushpuppi contained numerous photographs of himself, some of which also include his name. For example, using the phone number +234 90 99 99 91 31, which Hushpuppi had saved as Abba Kyari. Kyari sent Hushpuppi the following photograph on September 8, 2019. This image depicts Kyari sitting at a desk, surrounded by multiple photographs of himself. Zooming in on the image revealed that the nameplate on the desk says DCP Abba A. Kyari, and the photograph on the wall states DCP Abba Kyari, and the Nigeria Police Force, DCP, is an acronym for Deputy Commissioner of Police. which was Kyari's title within the Nigeria police force. A magnified version of the later photograph is included here. Look at your screen. That is the photograph that they have to magnify, to zoom as among the photographs on the wall. Now, using the phone number, Abba Kyari is taking his own picture, sending his picture to Hushpuppi. Now, using the phone number, you may say, but that's not a crime now. You know what? Don't be in a hurry, okay? Relax. Using the phone number +234 81 200 00043, which Hushpuppi had saved as Abba Kyari new number. Kyari sent several images of himself to Hushpuppi in April and May 2020, just a month before Dubai police arrested Hushpuppi, including the following. Additionally, on June 9, 2020, Kyari sent Hushpuppi a link to an article in the Nigerian publication, The Independent, describing how the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, was being honored by the Nigeria House of Representatives. I and another FBI employee located this article online, and a screenshot of this is included below. Investigation, or Oyibo investigation, or you following? Abba Kyari to be honored for exceptional service. I reviewed online articles about Kyari, which indicated that Kyari is an Inspector General of the Police Intelligence Response Team and a Deputy Commissioner of Police in Nigeria. Kyari previously managed the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, commonly known as SARS, as the office in charge for several years. Articles refer to Kyari as a super cop of the Nigerian police force, and described him as the most decorated officer in the history of the Nigerian police force. Kyari has been awarded many accolades, including recognition for his performance by the Nigerian House of Representatives in June 2020, which Kyari informed Hushpuppi of via the news article discussed above. I also reviewed other articles from October and November 2020, which indicated that Kyari had been accused falsely of arresting and extorting a businessman in Lagos. Based on those articles, Kyari's work in general appears to have related primarily to kidnapping cases, and I did not see any article suggesting that Kyari worked on fraud cases. Finally, I have reviewed a certified NIV application submitted by Abba Kyari in April 2019. This application included one of the aforementioned phone numbers. That's how they linked this phone number that they found on Hushpuppi's phone. They traced that number to visa application of Abba Kyari, American visa application, the same mobile number that they found on Hushpuppi's phone. They found it on his visa application. So he said that Kyari used to communicate with Hushpuppi, as well as a date of birth in March 1975, and Kyari's Nigerian passport number ending in 3677. The NIV application also included the following photograph, which is consistent with the other photographs of Kyari shown above. Based on messages I reviewed, Hushpuppi appears to have first interacted with Kyari in September 2019, when Kyari traveled to United Arab Emirates. The conversation indicated that Hushpuppi sent a car and driver to drive Kyari during that trip. Soon thereafter, Kyari sent Hushpuppi a video slideshow, which showed some personal photographs of Kyari, some of which appeared to have been taken in United Arab Emirates in Dubai. Later in September, after Kyari sent Hushpuppi an article that discussed him arresting alleged kidnappers, Hushpuppi wrote in part to Kyari, I'm really happy to be your boy. And later, he also wrote, I promise to be a good boy to you, sir. So then you have Chibuzo, right? So the story of Chibuzo, this is the person that dragged Abba Kyari into the Hushpuppi business. Chibuzo. Chibuzo, alias Kelly or Kelly Ogudu. Chibuzo is the person who was trying to hijack Hushpuppi's MAGA, their MAGA. And Hushpuppi had to contact Abba Kyari to help him find Chibuzo. Now, let's take the story of profiling Chibuzo. In fact, I'll come back to Chibuzo. There are many others. Look at this person. Where is that? This is Fashola. Another lady that is included. This is another lady who happens to be like a family member to Hushpuppi. Bola Tito. Here is another lady, also. Then let's see. Now, how did Abba Kyari come into the picture? That's where we're going now. I'm going to take a quick break while we do this, right? To my friends who are watching on YouTube, and for you who are watching me for the first time, I'm going to ask if you can, please take a moment and give me that thumb up under that video. Subscribe under this video as well, because the second part of this broadcast tonight is where Julie is going to come on, where we're going to discuss what happened today, where the DSS denied Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers to have access to him. Now, the rumor that they must have done something terrible to him that they don't want the public to see, that rumor is becoming truth now. And again, tonight, Julie, who is going to join us, will be telling us more about the July 31st protest and rally in London. Before we continue, take a moment. If you are not on my YouTube channel, you can go on now, take a trip, Maiyegun's Diary Politico, and subscribe. I will be back in a minute. You. So it's as easy as that. Okay. Now, let us go to Chibuzo, Abba Kyari, and Hushpuppi, where they became partners, and how what do you call it? How Abba Kyari got involved, and how they named him in the court paper in America. So I'm going a bit down because it's like down, where Hushpuppi was like, it kind of planned himself so much that he even bought himself citizenship in another country. But that's a story for another day. All right. Let's start from here. Right. So this is the full story. How Abba Kyari became involved. Sorry if it is so long for you, but it is always good to have it on record as we are doing this evening. Okay. So on December 26, 2019, Chibuzo sent Hushpuppi a screenshot of a messaging conversation with another co-conspirator. In that conversation, Chibuzo stated, right? He said, Hush and I spoke, and we will need something like Wells Fargo offshore website. I don't think I need that much details. I want to go to where Abba Kyari. Let's see. Okay, this is just the timeline. Right. What's the moment, right? I'm bringing them up one after the other. Right. They always tell them to, at this point, I don't discuss with you, you have committed a crime, you won't be forgiven, right? Okay, so we are going to start from here, where their fight started. Thank you. So I'll start from this part. In short, on January 15, 2020, this time using WhatsApp, Hushpuppi sent an audio. Oh, no. I think there's one before that. I just don't want to be mentioning this. Yeah, let's take it from there. So, Hushpuppi forwarded a threat to Chibuzo on the 16th of January 2020, and this is the content. I mean, the content of that message. I always tell people to think well before they offend me, and make them make sure say they fit stand the consequences when the time comes. I won't say more than that, but very soon, very, very soon, the wrath of my hand shall find you. And when it does, it will damage you forever. At this point, I don't get discussion with you. You have committed a crime that won't be forgiven. That is punishable, and you shall receive punishment in due time. I swear with my life, you will regret messing with me. You will even wish you died before my hands touch you. Also, on the 16th of January, Hushpuppi sent a message to Abba Kyari on WhatsApp and then placed the 5 calls to another phone number. That number is stated and is on your screen. That was listed as Abba Kyari. Call record show that the last 3 of the calls were answered, and one of the calls lasted more than 2 minutes. Shortly after that, Hushpuppi received a message from Kyari confirming we will pick him up today or tomorrow. Hushpuppi wrote, I will take care of the team. Also, after they pick him up, Kyari confirmed, yes, so, hey, based on the conversation described in paragraph 143 to 145, Hushpuppi planned to pay the Nigerian police force officers who arrested Chibuzo for that service. B, this was not the only time that Hushpuppi arranged payment with Kyari. On May 20, 2020, Hushpuppi sent Kyari transaction receipt for 2 transactions from accounts at Nigerian banks, that is a Guarantee Trust Bank and Zenith Bank, of a person Hushpuppi knew in Dubai, a person also arrested with Hushpuppi in Hushpuppi's apartment in Dubai by Dubai police on June 9, 2020, to the Nigerian bank account of another person in Nigeria, which was approximately, well, that amount on, the amount on the transaction receipt totaled 8 million Nigerian naira, which was approximately 20,600 US dollars, based on publicly available exchange rate information. Attempting to reason with Hushpuppi, on January 18, 2020, Chibuzo recounted for Hushpuppi all the assistance he had provided in the scheme to victimize the victim business person, including creating the power of attorney documents, see paragraph this and that, and facilitating the creation of telephone banking system number, see paragraph this, and fake Wells Fargo websites, see paragraph 117. As discussed in paragraph 32B, on January 20, 2020, the day Joe Biden took office, I believe, January 20, 2020, or 2021, sorry, that's my bad. Kyari sent to Abbas biographical identifying information for Chibuzo, along with a photograph of him. In a conversation immediately following, Hushpuppi confirmed, that is him, sir. Kyari stated, we have arrested the guy. He is in my cell. He is in my cell now. This is his picture after we arrested him today. So it was Hushpuppi that first received the picture of Chibuzo when Abba Kyari used the Nigerian government resources to hunt down a fellow fraudster from stopping another fraudster from defrauding his victim. So they sent his picture to the chief who ordered for his arrest. Kyari sent the biographical information about and photograph of Chibuzo to Hushpuppi using 2 different WhatsApp numbers. The second of which Kyari said was his private number. From that point on, Kyari and Hushpuppi primarily discussed the arrest and detention of Chibuzo through WhatsApp on his private number. After receiving the photograph of Chibuzo, Hushpuppi stated, "I want him to go through serious beating of his life." Kyari responded, "Ha ha 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 ha." And Hushpuppi replied, "Seriously, sir?" Kyari then asked for details about what Chibuzo did on audio, which Kyari said was, "so that we will know what to do." In response to Kyari's question about what Chibuzo had done to Hushpuppi, Hushpuppi sent Kyari an audio message, which is transcribed here, describing how Chibuzo had tried to steal away a fraud victim the job from him. This is where Kyari got involved. And for the Buharidins and the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari idiots that always embrace criminals like they did with Issa Pandemic, Issa Patantami, this is how he got in now. For those who are asking, wait. This is the message sent to him by Hushpuppi, voice notes on WhatsApp. What he did is, "I have one job. The job," this is a fraudster talking to the top cop in Nigeria, super couple. What he did is, I have one job. The job want to pay me $575,000. That is $575,000. He went to message the job behind me because I told him to help me make one document for me to give the job. Then he went. I gave him the details. Then he went to message the job behind my back and tried to divert the money. And in this process, he told the job, because of the document he gave me, that I gave the job, he told the job, "This document they sent to you before, these people are fake. This money is me who can help you to get it. Come to me. Let me bring this money. You want to pay these people to me. I'm the only one who can help you." And all these things to divert the job for himself. That was the voice note sent to Abba Kyari. After listening to the message, Abba Kyari wrote, "Okay, I understand. But he has not succeeded." Hushpuppi claimed Chibuzo had taken some money and provided Kyari with 2 screenshots of which contained the phone numbers. The phone number Chibuzo used to contact the victim, the MAGA. The screenshots showed the person contacting the victim, the MAGA, and stating that he was providing information to try to help the victim. However, Hushpuppi then told Kyari, now, the victim was skeptic to pay me the money because he kept attacking the MAGA from his end. Now, I can handle the MAGA correctly. Hushpuppi further told Kyari that he wanted to pay money to send Chibuzo to jail for a long time, stating, "Please, sir, I want to spend money to send this boy to jail. Let him go for a very long time." Kyari responded, "Okay, bro, I understand. I will discuss with my team who arrested him and handling the case. We will do something about it." Hushpuppi responded, "Let me know how I can send money to the team, sir. Let them deal with him like armed robber." Kyari responded, "Okay, I will send the account details to you." Hushpuppi further wrote, "He betrayed me and tried to take food out of my mouth. This is great punishable sin." And Kyari responded, "Yeah, bro." Hushpuppi then continued, "I want him to suffer for many years." Kyari responded, "Ah." Approximately 6 minutes later, Kyari provided the account information for a bank account at a Nigerian bank, Zenith Bank, in the name of a person other than Kyari himself. Hushpuppi responded, "Okay, sir, tomorrow by noon." indicating that it will make the payment to Kyari's team by next day. On the same day, Kyari sent Juma to send Juma the photograph of Chibuzo in custody, which Kyari has sent. Approximately a month later, on February 19, 2020, Kyari sent a message to Hushpuppi saying, "Hello, Hush, with sick, we need to talk about the subject under detention with me." Hushpuppi asked, "Should I call you on this number, sir?" To which Kyari replied, "Yes, call me." The following day, Kyari sent Abbas, sent Hushpuppi, multiple photographs of Chibuzo to Hushpuppi, including close-up photographs showing a rash or skin disease on Chibuzo's torso and arms. Hushpuppi responded, "I don't pity him. Make them leave him from Tuesday." Kyari wrote, "Okay, bro. They just brought him from hospital. The fever and the rashes is giving him serious wahala. He got the disease from other suspects in the cell." Hushpuppi responded, "I see him. I know too pity him. That's what people like him deserve. But I go forgive him for God's sake. In other words, based on my training, according to the FBI agent investigating him, in other words, based on my training and experience with Nigerian pidgin, Hushpuppi was essentially stating, in part, I don't pity him. That's what people like him deserve. But I will forgive him for God's sake." Based on the date of the messages and later discussion described in in paragraph 150, Hushpuppi was on Thursday, February 20, 2020, requesting that Kyari not to release Chibuzo until Tuesday, February 25. Hushpuppi then told Kyari that Chibuzo's girlfriend messaged him, trying to raise 1 million naira to secure Chibuzo's release, and said Hushpuppi promised to contribute 100,000 naira. Kyari stated they were thinking it's normal arrest. That is why they think money can remove him. No money can remove him here. Ha 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 ha. Hushpuppi added, "But it's better for them to think that way. I like it like that." And Kyari responded, "Yeah." Hushpuppi then said, "No problem, sir. From Tuesday, he can go." Apparently, giving Kyari his blessing to release Chibuzo from custody. Kyari responded, "Okay, bro. We will also keep his phone and other gadget for some weeks." Hushpuppi responded, "Yes, those ones, they should not give him again. Those ones are gone. Make him no see those ones again for life." Instructing Kyari not to return Chibuzo's electronic devices. Kyari responded, "Yes, he will not see it again," indicating that he will accede to Hushpuppi's request. So this is how Abba Kyari got involved. You see the story of his tailor, the story about other things the Mumu Madus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers are pushing out there. This guy is a murderous criminal. In one of his crimes documented, where he collected over 41 million naira from a victim. Somebody that I'm going to read his own story here. But before I even get to that, again, to my friends on YouTube, thank you so much for bringing it on that much. We're going to go to the next stage of this broadcast very soon. But I want to tell you why I decided to let you know that Nigeria is a crime scene. And this guy being exposed right now, I have been told that their police force in Nigeria, they are calling him to interrogate him. They are likely going to arrest him. And possibly they are going to have him returned to America. I was like, well, you can dream on. Yes, they are going to investigate him and they are going to tell you that they found out that he's not guilty. No be Nigeria. And at the end of the day, you realize that the damages they have done, the damages they have caused, the atrocities they have committed, individually, forget about Nigeria now, individually, by the time Boko Haram lose power, by the time Boko Haram and these Fulani terrorists are no longer in control of anything anymore, these individual criminals, they will be picked up. They will be held and they will be accountable for all their crimes that they have committed. This guy can hold you and kill you. And once he says that you are a kidnapper or you are this or that, they will give him a medal the following day. And it can make your entire family, no joke, but I'll come to that. Julie, I know you are listening and you are just there in the studio with me right now. So we are going to be popping up very soon. I have just 10 minutes to round this up on this, okay? Listen to this, check this story. Thank you, Julie. Julie is doing this to, she's doing this to me. That I'm with you, Maiyegun. Thank you. Anyway, let us go to this story. Most of you must have seen it online as well, right? Well, I want to document it because this is Maiyegun's diary, Politico. We will document this for the sake of the generations coming, so that the criminals that are being paraded as a hero, those who are harboring and protecting criminals, and then hunting down innocent people, killing innocent people to claim medals, and you look around yourself and you're like, how can you have this kind of active whatever and this glorious officer that yet kidnapping for ransom in northern Nigeria continue to escalate and nobody is talking about that? How could you not see through that? However, again, to my friends on YouTube, okay, we have over 30,000 of us right now. Great. And if you can take this, the thumb up from this 900 to at least 2,000 for a minute, that will make a lot of difference. And many people can possibly get to see the exposed Kyari in a way. I'm going to share the link, by the way. I'm going to share the link in the comment section in a moment. The link to that indictment. He has been declared wanted. He is meant to be in jail right now. The court says he should be locked up in jail. And then eventually, Abba Kyari is going to jail for over 20 years for the crime he's just committed. Hushpuppi has been, so many people have been picked up right now in America. Since Hushpuppi started talking, he's been singing. And he is fighting for himself to at least get a reduced sentence to spend maybe 30 years. You see, Kyari, when they hold him, as America is holding him, he will also be waiting for the ICC, International Criminal Court, that will also hold him for genocide that he helped them perpetrate in Biafra land under Buhari. But I'll come to that. Check this story out. How Abba Kyari collected 41 million naira from me. It's a story that's featured in that investigation. DCP Kyari extorted the man. Let me read this out. It said, according to a document seen when they started the NSAS probing of the NSAS. Yeah, many of you don't know that all the NSAS in Lagos all these years, before the last 1 year, before the last 2 years or thereabout, it was led by this terrorist, this criminal. And you know what they do? SARS, once they hold you, they just accuse you of being an armed robber. Once they say they are holding you as an armed robber, they can hold you for months. Your family members will be extorted. They will be trying to locate all your properties, anything they know, anything they can find anywhere. They will sell them. By the time they free you, no joke, read this man's story. In a series of petitions between 2016 and 2018, Mojid sought justice through the Independent Corrupt Practice ICPC back then. He never got anything. But on the 22nd of October, through Salahu, October 2020, through Salahu, Akingbolu and Co., Mojid's counsel and addressed to the newly formed Judicial Panel of Inquiry and Restitution for Victims of SARS-related abuses in Lagos, Kyari and his officers were accused of forcefully taking about 32 items from Mojid's house during a raid in 2014. The Lagos government had, well, not that. So in the petition seen by the cable, Mojid said his ordeal began on the 9th of October 2014, when 4 gun-wielding policemen from SARS broke into his house. The businessman, who was home with his pregnant wife, 18-month-old son, and mother-in-law, had thought it was a robbery attack. They forcefully took his wedding ring and that of his wife from them, opened their wardrobe, and took the sum of 280,000 naira, and the sum of 50,000 naira was also taken from his car. After which, the Honda Accord 2008 model was seized and taken away till today. In that petition since 2014. Phones, landed properties, checkbooks, bank cards, and other valuable documents were allegedly taken from his house. After ransacking the house, Mojid was reportedly taken to the SARS office in Ikeja, where he was detained for 14 days from October 18 to October 31st, 2014. He was later arraigned on a trump-up charge of stealing 97 million naira, and for over 1 year, the matter was in court. The police never showed up or brought any witness. After several adjournments, the court reportedly struck out the charge against him. According to the petition, while in detention, the police, under the supervision and threat of Abba Kyari, then it was OC, SARS, forced him to sign 3 Zenith Bank checks in the sum of 150,000 naira each, making 450,000 naira in total on October 22nd, 23rd, 2014, and gave the sum to one Alabi, Olawale Nuruddin, who is also one of their cronies, to withdraw. The police also allegedly obtained password to his bank card, with which they withdrew another 395,000 naira from his account between October 20 to 23rd, 2014. Now, forceful transfer of 41 million naira. Allegedly, on the directive of Kyari, Mojid was taken by one Inspector Fola, Corporal Bolu, and Corporal Hakim to Diamond Bank Aja branch on October 23rd and 24th, 2014, to forcefully transfer the sum of 41 million naira and 800,000 naira respectively from his corporate account, M. Martin Concept, into the account of one Obina Edward, whom our client had never seen or heard of before, after which they shared the money. All these acts perpetrated on our client were exhibited with serious injuries inflicted on him due to a series of slaps and beating from them to get access to his ATM password, signature on checks, and also transfer from his account. Mojid's counsel had confronted Kyari in his then office in Ikeja on why he would seize his money and properties without a court order. But Kyari reportedly said he had kept the money as an exhibit. But till date, they have not released any of the items to him, including his car, which we got information had been taken away by Abba Kyari. Kyari also accused of attempting to connive with Mojid's counsel to further extort him. The senior police officer reportedly told the counsel that Mojid was an internet fraudster, and that was why they took the money from him. He also went further that there was another 15 million naira in another account, that the counsel should cooperate with him to take it the way they took the 41 million naira, and a sum of 5 million naira will be given to him, while they would take 10 million naira in that petition. The counsel was allegedly threatened over the refusal to cooperate with Kyari. In November 14, 2014, medical reports seen by the cable showed how Mojid suffered hearing difficulty, a bad right eye, and recurrent chest pain. All of these following police brutality. As of the time of filing this report, Kyari, who now heads the Intelligence Response Team, IRT, of the Inspector General of Police, was unreachable as his telephone lines were switched off. That's also the story of Kyari. Now, Kyari is not the only person, a notorious criminal, glorified criminal inside Boko Haram's murderous terrorist regime. He is just one of the dreaded ones. Inside Boko Haram's regime, there is a man called Babashir Lawal. Babashir Lawal was one of the first 3 appointments made by Boko Haram when this APC, Egbekegbe, came to power. Babashir Lawal was made the secretary to the government of the Federation of Nigeria under Boko Haram. And Boko Haram set up a committee, a presidential committee that he called the Committee to Rehabilitate the Northeast of Nigeria. Northeast is where the Borno day. Borno and other places where the Boko Haram have ravaged before these criminals came to power. So then they budgeted billions of naira into that office to be overseen, supervised by Babashir Lawal. Now, there are people who have been displaced. According to the APC, Egbekegbe, before they came to power, there are over 1 million people displaced by Boko Haram, living in IDP refugee camps in northern Nigeria. So when Boko Haram came in and they established the office for the rehabilitation of the people of Northeast, rebuilding, it said rebuilding, rehabilitation, and resettlement of the victims of Boko Haram in Northeast. You know what happened? Babashir Lawal started awarding contracts from the money that they started getting for the victims of Boko Haram. He started awarding contracts to himself, to his company, to his children, to his girlfriends, and everyone that was around him. None of this project that he was awarding was ever released. But there is a very, very sad one. One now came out that even though he's stolen over, from that little short while of 3 months, the guy has stolen over 10 billion naira, money meant to rehabilitate victims of Boko Haram, who are supposed to be the Northerners, the reason why they came to power. Excuse me, the reason why they came to power. So he budgeted the 242 million naira to cut grass around the vicinities where the people who were displaced by Boko Haram live. They call the place IDP camps, refugee camps. The people who live in the camp, they don't have a sleeping bed. They don't have food. They don't have medical. They don't have security. But the secretary to the government of the Federation under Kyari spent 242 million naira to cut grass. When they asked him, how could you use 242 million naira to cut grass when the people living in that camp are begging for food, begging for money on the streets? He said he was trying to prevent them from snakes. So when the investigation started, and the National Assembly under Saraki said he must be sacked and probed and even prosecuted, Kyari wrote a letter to defend him. And being in charge of power under Kyari, he was able to use their influence in the Nigeria Air Force. They decided to go and bomb one of the IDP camps in Ran, in Borno. So the bomb ran not once, not twice, 3 times. That is where the camp given to the internally displaced people, refugee, the government gave them that location. The government knew that they were there. But under these people, they bombed them and they killed hundreds of them. When they asked the Nigeria Air Force, why did you bomb IDP camp? They said they received the wrong signal that Boko Haram were grouping in that place. And there is a satellite signal that said they are. So the people that were in the IDP camp, their signal told them that they are no longer IDP, they are Boko Haram. And they bombed them 3 times to cover up. Last, Kyari wrote a letter to defend Abba Kyari, to defend the Babashir Lawal. He wrote a letter. He said he's investigated Babashir Lawal and he's found him not guilty. Therefore, it's not going to sack him. But the moment Kyari became a vegetable, that they smuggled him out of Nigeria to London, Ikene Shatabandu fake Pastor Ruga came to the rescue, sacked Babashir Lawal, right? And, well, they had to give him an order that even if you are going to sack Babashir Lawal, you have to replace him with his cousin called Boss Mustafa so that he will still be in control. Why am I telling you this? It won't be the first time. The second time as well of something we remember very, 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 very recently as well is that of Maguluta Crook. Maguluta Crook, a criminal who has been working with the fraud unit of the Nigerian police and has been fingered as a thief who has also been, keeping the proceeds of corruption when they arrest criminals. You know what I mean? Kyari sent his name to the National Assembly. He said, listen, Kyari, this guy is a thief. You can't send a thief after thieves. It's not going to work, except if you are a thief yourself. You see, this guy, if he arrests anybody, they used threat, intimidation. When they say EFCC is coming, EFCC is coming, they will say, you better go and pay them. You better go and bribe them. So EFCC can take your property if you don't want to be arrested and you don't want to hold the placard where they will say EFCC arrested you. So if you don't want to hold that card, you will pay 1.5 million naira. Then you can start negotiation, or if you want to leave your property for them and all of that. Once they accuse you of anything, it's not about internet fraud, though. It's just about anyone that they say, because they know that many of them are criminals too, in many of the way you deal with them in Nigeria. But they said, this guy is a thief. You can't send a thief after thieves. It's not going to work. Kyari sent Maguluta Crook, sent his name to the National Assembly 3 times. His name was rejected 3 times, and Kyari kept him. Until Malamu felt like he's becoming loyal to Tifnumbu. And the way it's going, becoming loyal to Tifnumbu is going to jeopardize their plan to crush Tifnumbu with corruption case before 2023. Maguluta Crook, being in charge of the EFCC, he has to go suddenly. They found all the allegations that they told them about since 2015 when Kyari was sending his name. Now they have told us how Maguluta Crook cannot account for billions of naira of recovered loot. Now we have discovered that the returned loot, they called it recovered loot. They have been relooted because Maguluta Crook was in charge. You put cat to they protect fried chicken, fried meat. Who does that? People, they ask me sometimes, who does that? That's not just that. You remember in Isa pandemic, Isa Patantami, the jihadist apologist in Boko Haram's government, the one that publicly came and he was crying that he was looking forward to a day that Nigerian naira will be written in Arabic. Nigerian naira will carry the prophet of Allah. He said it in the audio. We have the video. This same guy said, you see, what's that guy's name? Osama bin Laden is a better Muslim than him. That he wish he is as a better Muslim like Osama bin Laden. He said that they rejoice when infidels are killed. And he became a minister in charge of all of your information, your data, your mobile phone, your mobile number, your text messages, your social media login password, your national ID card, your national registration, whatever number, your everything, your communication, your voice note, your WhatsApp message, every goddamn thing. A terrorist is in charge. They defended him. They said he was a young man when he made those statements. He is a changed man now. In this same Boko Haram's government. It was under this same Boko Haram's government that they said, it's okay, it's okay. Honorable Minister, it's okay, it's okay. Off your mic, it's okay. Akpabio. You remember Akpabio? You remember NDDC? You remember the same Fashola Isaleiko Barack Obama? The one Mr. Bantueyo from Isaleiko? The one that told you that the reason why you have no electricity was because your electricity, the people in charge of your electricity are Bantueyos. Only for him to become the Minister of Darkness, Minister of Portal, and Minister of Homelessness in Nigeria. The national grid collapsed for the first time in 30 years, and it has been collapsing since then. Darkness all around. These same people protected them, didn't they? As long as you can do the archer job. This same government watched a man that committed genocide in this 21st century, genocide under democracy, in the name of protecting Boko Haram. The man's name, if you remember him very well, Buratai the Butcher, the man that supervised the killing of over 1,000 human beings simply because he said they block his road. He was never investigated. He was never prosecuted. Rather, he was rewarded to become an ambassador to Benin Republic, because you just need to be the bad. The badder you are, the baddest you are, the better your reward. That's what Nigeria has become. And we know them by their names. That is our own power. That is beyond theirs. We know them by their names. We know them by their crimes. And when time comes, they will be picked up. And as people say, he will laugh last, laugh best. They can kidnap people from here to there. But as they are committing those crimes, we are watching and we are attaching the names of the criminals to those crimes. Listen, when they take Nigeria to gutters, finally, we will also pretty much take those criminals who dragged us to this level, we will take them to the gallows. Yes, they committed genocide. They committed international kidnapping, international rendition. Now they are afraid to face the public. They are afraid to produce Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are afraid. And in all round of all these crimes they are committed, we are also winning. Because right there, the whole world is watching. We are beaming the torchlight. We are letting them know that you can run, but you cannot hide forever. Julie, I'm going to bring Julie on, because this time around, I want to go on to what they did with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What are we doing to keep the fire burning, to keep the flame burning? What are we doing? Julie, the last information I received. How are you, Julie?
I'm good. Thank you.
It's indeed good to see you again.
Look what arrived today.
Oh, is that?
Yeah. So the signs are here, and the back has got the.
Stop. Let me see that again. I'm gonna bring it forth. BBC, stop letting the good people of Britain down with your biased reporting. Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
And then that is got at the back.
That's amazing, Julie.
Yeah.
So we received the news, the report earlier, where the lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out to tell us that they have been denied access to him. We have also seen, I don't know why I didn't put that up, by the way, but I'm going to try and bring it up as we have this chat right now, okay? There is this letter or a tweet from the law firm handling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, and they represented the Kanu family, according to them, putting pressure on the UK government, the UK Home Secretary here.
Yeah, Dominic Raab.
Yeah, now, so I think you can take it on from me at this point, Julie.
So
say hello to our people.
Hi, guys. So where they are is that obviously, Bindmans are acting for the Kanu family.
Yep.
So Bindmans they've sent what's called a pre-action letter. So basically, if Dominic Raab at this point, if he responds to that letter, then and does what is needed, then that's the end of it. Then they don't need to move on to litigation. And then I noticed that they've beefed up the team. So initially there was a Sharon Marker who was his solicitor. I noticed now they've beefed up the team with a partner and another experienced solicitor. And they put out quite a statement from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's wife saying that basically, Dominic Raab, you can end all of this today if you act. So that's where they are on that. Now, in terms of access, I really don't know what their plan is going forward on that. I would assume that would be dealt with within the sort of pre-action protocol letter that they've sent. And so that's where we are on that.
You see, Buhari is in the UK, Julie, and currently having a chat with Boris Johnson. Uhuru Kenyatta is also in the UK, raising dust. That could there be something that we should be worried about in any way? I don't know how you see that, because I've been reading a lot about that people felt like, Kenya got rewarded with about 132 million pounds aid. And there's no conversation about the disappearance of or the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu around there, or any statement towards that. So people feel like, is there something that we should be worried about? I don't know if you could recall last year. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, so apologies if I have. But do you remember that there was a news blackout? I think it was last year when there was a news blackout there was a report about a protest at Buckingham Palace, and it was over the Epstein scandal. Right. And the only reports we had of that was on Twitter, the videos that were put on Twitter. So this feels a bit like that, because there are all these protests going on every day. I mean, the Biafrans and Ududua, they're outside Downing Street every single day. And isn't it curious that none of this has been reported in the press? So for me, I'm a bit worried about it, I won't lie, because this is the same country that back in, was it 2002, 2003? Do you remember the weapons of mass destruction? So what that tells you about Britain is that when their back is up against the wall, they can do the weirdest things. Two things worry me about Britain. Brexit. Brexit, obviously, it wasn't a good plan, and any fool can see that Brexit is falling apart. So they're looking at other markets and other places to exploit. And I feel that Nigeria is ripe for the picking, and that really, really worries me. So there's the Brexit angle there. And then to a certain extent, there's a COVID angle that has devastated their economy. And I can imagine that Boris and his cronies are looking around and thinking, what do we do next? Again, Nigeria is ripe for the picking. So I think we need to watch this really closely. A lot of things, the way I would put it is this, a lot of things, if you think to the back of was it 2020 or towards the end of 2019, lots of people were talking about this virus and conspiracy theories. And then it turned out that there was a virus, there was COVID. So I think that
we need to sort of examine everything really, really carefully. But I'm really worried. I don't know why we have this news blackout. They don't want to report anything. There was one report on the BBC. I'm sure you've seen it, the BBC article. Now, on the face of it, if you read that report, it was completely reasonable, completely reasonable. If you didn't know anything about Nigeria, and if you didn't know anything about Biafra, at the time, and I might have a link to it somewhere. I'll send it to you if you want to have a look at it. But there was no mention of the fact that there's agitation for Duduwa. There was no mention about it, just basically focused on painting IPOB as a group in disarray now that Nnamdi Kanu had been pulled out of the picture. So I find it extremely worrying. And I think that we need to, we should keep a close eye on these things. I personally am very worried about them.
Thank you, Julie. One of my own sort of a worry, which my gut always tells me, is that we know there is no case that they can put up against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. And from all analysis that we have come across since all this started, we can see that it's pretty much on all trumped up cases and all of that. And people are concerned about his safety. I am concerned about his safety. A lot of people are talking about that. There was a time that we had a rumor that he's been moved out of Abuja. Then his lawyers came and they said, no, they haven't received any kind of information, that we shouldn't worry about it, right? But now, they didn't bring him to court. Then, court ordered his lawyers to see him. The DSS denied them access. What could they be hiding? Or could that be part of the delay tactic? They denied the lawyers from giving him the consular assistance. They denied him that to fill the application. Now they've denied him the usual access to his lawyer, which is mandated and ordered by court. What could they be hiding?
It's extremely worrying. It could be from one extreme to the other. It could be mind games. It was, I mean, they did say the court was going on holiday, and then you would think that the hearing would be cancelled, but the hearing still went ahead. And then on the day, surprise, surprise, there was a scuffle where the lawyers they were trying to bar some lawyers from entering the court. So the mind games, the level of mind game playing is absolutely mind blowing.
There's something I want to show with you, Julie, and that came from the and I think it's been authenticated already.
Right.
Can help me with it. It came from the Directorate of State of IPOB, giving Nigeria the ultimatum till the 8th of August.
Right. Yeah.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or they will begin what they called every week sit at home until his release, however it takes. And we all know how this sit at home is with the people of Biafra land.
Biafra,
right?
yeah.
So you have seen this. Is another means of protest too?
It is. I think one thing that we know for certain is that the protests are working. They're making mistakes. They're moving mad, as people would say these days. So I think we need to continue. And the thing is, the protests, we need to keep an eye also on countries like we need to keep an eye on Britain. Britain is very, very nervous about this, very nervous, because they're watching the protests are growing in intensity. And if you look at the videos popping up around, the articulation keeps improving. So every time there's a protest, they articulate more. They explain these things a little bit better. It's not just Britain, it's the world that's looking at this. And it'll get to a point where Britain's looking really bad. They're looking really, really bad. So I think the point is for all of us is that we have to keep up. Must keep up the pressure, keep on going out. Even if it's only two of you, like now, I'm not going to not go to this protest. If I end up being the only one there, that's not going to put me off. I'm still going to be there, waving my placards about and taking my videos. So we have to keep up the pressure. They're very nervous. It really worries me and Britain's role, because I was also very concerned at the body language of the High Commissioner, Katrina Lang.
Yeah.
You know, her body language was very disturbing. The way she was sort of meandering around the questions and being really clever. That really, really worried me. How anybody with good conscience could sort of sit there and sort of and answer questions in that way was completely shocking to me. So I think what we have to do for now is to stay strong and keep up the pressure and, you know, be confident that this is working. This is really working. The
Talking
London
about pressure, Julie.
Sorry?
I said, talking about pressure here. We had the two news that were really in a bit kind of concerning too. One of them was that there is an American lawmaker, a congressman, that's, you know, working so much right now that to have America stop the sale of weapons to Nigeria, including every other ordered weapons, simply because they have established the fact that the government of Nigeria is using those weapons to commit ethnic cleansing, genocide, or those weapons ended up in the hands of terrorists. And we can say the pressure is working, can we?
Yes, absolutely. I think it is. I think the thing is, when you look at American politics and you look at the UK, they always have this thing where at the end of the day, countries are essentially quite selfish. So, you know, if they weigh it up and they think, well, you know, if we sell these weapons, then these are X amount of American jobs. And, you know, they look at the economic harm to them, that you know that they're always going to vote in their own interest. They'll do that. But then that's where we come in, because what we need to do is to reach over them and reach to the American people and reach to the British people and say to them, yeah, you know, yes, you want to make a living, but really at the expense of this, you know, that's what we need to do. And we are getting there. We, you know, every single protest, we get that bit closer. And then once we start getting, well, we only need a few key individuals. And that's something that we need to talk about, which is our media strategy, because we really need to focus and do it as a media strategy. And if we keep on reaching out, what I understand about most British people is that no matter how imperfect they may be as human beings, I think the days have gone where people are just comfortable to sit in their homes knowing that somebody in a sweatshop is, you know, or their, you know, the goods you're enjoying, child labor was involved in it, or the goods you're enjoying means that you've had to turn a blind eye. And then this whole village in Imo State, they've lost their homes because of politics, basically. And they're now living in sort of, they're internally displaced people living in camps. Nobody wants that. And that's what we need to let the British people know. In the same way, let me put it a different way. In the same way, for instance, with fashion brands. Do you remember when we had that that incident? I think it was in Bangladesh when the whole building collapsed on the workers. Yeah. And then British shoppers were just bypassing the brands. And a lot of the brands lost this. That was shopping. That was to do with fashion. This is to do with lives, you know, people's ancestral lands, people's livelihoods. Nigerians are not asking, they're not even asking for jobs or for good conditions. They're just asking, let us breathe, let us not be driven off our ancestral lands. I think that's a bit more important. So I think we can reach out to people, but we have to keep up the pressure in all sorts of ways. The pressure that we're putting on at the moment is going to help the lawyers, because in a case like this, there are many gray areas. If you look at extraordinary rendition, if you looked at it from the point of view purely from a legal perspective, they're not really, they're very gray areas. The cases are very gray areas, because oftentimes, even if the law might be on the side of, you know, this is a crime, you can't kidnap a person. But then when you look at maybe the atrocities that the person in question has committed, it's a gray area, because then any politician is thinking, well, if I apply the law, this person is a genocidal maniac and is, you know, responsible for X amount of deaths. But in this instance, it's not like that, because I don't believe that Nnamdi Kanu comes under that kind of category. So it's easier for them to decide in our favor. But we have to keep on tipping the odds in our favor by continuing the protest and continuing the pressure. You know, if they want, they want this to go away so badly. And because they want it to go away, you can imagine in London, the last protest I was on, it was so interesting because you had on the one hand, you had the anti-vaxxers. There was so many of them, and the police are very nervous of them because apparently they don't cooperate, they don't engage with the police. And then you had all these middle class-ish kind of Nigerians. You know, I think some of the protest marches, the average age would be something like 45. Who knew? You know, you would think that the average age would be 20 or whatever, but it's not. And they all comply. If the police says, okay, so we need you on the pavement, they all comply. But at the same time, they're making their point, saying, you know what, this is a very serious issue and Britain needs to pay attention to it. So all of that has confused them, and they don't quite know how to deal with it. They're very nervous about it. I
like pressure, Julie. I like pressure because pressure can be good and it can be bad.
Yeah.
Most of the time, pressure is good. Okay, you can use pressure to push, evil away, and you can also use pressure to push someone who is docile to become pretty much, productive and responsible in a way. But when it comes to audience, somebody told me something just, I think it was yesterday. We were having a chat, and he said, why are we not telling the British public about a kidnapped British citizen in Nigeria? Like, addressing the public generally. There was a video sent to me where somebody in London, I believe a Briton, so he was there speaking, and I think I used the video last night. Or
yes, you did. Yeah, you did.
Talking about this, can we take this directly to them to let them know that this?
We absolutely can.
Biafra.
We absolutely can, and we must. And it's going to be boring, guys. You're going to tell your story 20 times, 30 times. It will be worse than, when you have a press junket and you've got a new movie. And let's say, for instance, when Hugh Grant had years ago, 4 weddings and a funeral, and then he does the same interview with every single press person over and over and over and over again. That's what we're going to have to do. Tell one person, tell the other person, talk to your family members, all the family members. For instance, with there are people who, I had my birthday this week, Maiyegun. It was interesting because normally people who would talk, there are people, I have friends that are hiding away from me because they're frightened that I'm talking about things that are very scary and they don't want to be, they're frightened of how this could pan out. Yeah. But the point is, there's safety in numbers, and the more of us that speak out, the safer that we're going to be. So at the end of the day, even if they use Pegasus software on everybody, if they use Pegasus software on everybody, then it no longer is a weapon because we're back to baseline. So that means you have to, whose data are you going to analyze today? There's so many of us speaking up. It's our fear. That it is the fear of Nigerians that has enslaved Nigerians. And at some point, you have to make a decision. Is it better for me to, I noticed within the parliament that there were lots of people who hammered that point. You have to decide, is this any sort of way to live your life? Or do you want to stand up and be counted? I think we should all stand up and be counted. We really should.
Julie, it's 2 days to this rally in London. Let's talk about that. Because I can see that you have been doing a lot behind the scene, and I am yet to be introduced to your team. So for now, I'm going to consider that you are just that iron lady.
I have a team of 1. That is moi. I get some help from time to time. But it has been, again, for all the, there are talented people I know that have been a bit, it's politics, don't want to get involved, that sort of thing. So it's been a slog. I won't deny it, but I still would do it again. So where we are, by the way, with these signs, I've got 12 of them because I was hoping that people would confirm, but they haven't. So I've got 12 of them. So obviously I'm not going to.
How many do you have there with you? How many do you have there with you now?
I've just got the one. I just wanted to show you an example of what
The
reason I did them this way is that I wanted something really clear that when the photographers, hopefully it's a passing photographer, takes a photograph, then snap, they've got that. So that's the reason for it. And I know that
you mind sharing that with us again, like, full time on the screen if you can. I'll embolden that. Yeah. So this is at the kind of handheld boards that we're going to hold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Saturday, right? Can we see this, Julie?
They all have a sign on the back.
Yeah.
So just time for a change of name.
Right. That's amazing. So among other things that are going to be there, let's talk about the venue. People are saying that shouldn't we be probably occupying the Abuja house?
Abuja house, yeah.
Where is the meeting point? You told us the last time.
So the meeting point is with Parliament Square, Downing Street. I'm doing a speech directed at Dominic Raab. And then from there, it's going to be fluid, but then we're doing Downing Street. We're going to the BBC.
Right.
We're going to Buckingham Palace because I think that Her Majesty the Queen, as the head of the Commonwealth, I think that we need to appeal to her to use her good office to, give voice to the concerns we have. Then we're going to the Kenyan embassy, and then we're going to the Nigeria High Commission. Sorry, not the I think it's the Kenyan High Commission because they're part of the Commonwealth as well. And then we're going to the Nigerian High Commission. And then I did have two other venues, which is Trafalgar Square. And now I wish that we could go to Abuja House, but it's a bit complicated because that's Notting Hill. And I don't know. I think people would really flag if we then sort of went, across London. So I don't know. It will play it by ear. If people are that passionate about it and they want to go, hey, I'm up for it. I'm happy to go to.
You can take the convoy down there.
Yeah, that would be amazing. If people are up for it, I'm up for it. I think
right now, Julie, right? Now let's talk about the meeting day as well as the meeting time.
Yes.
Especially the meeting point, because those who are interested right now, who are in London or going to be in London on Saturday, they will really, really want to know, Julie. Then we'll talk about
Parliament Square, and it's Parliament Square, and it kicks off at 11. But if you get there early, you probably find us there. We're going to have a photographer there. We'll stream it and we'll take video as well. So, when you
stream it and take a video, there are platforms that are going to run that, right? There are also platforms that people can possibly want to reach out to you. The first time we had this chat, we're talking about looking for those who might want to, speak that day. If you have a speech, that they should reach out. So people wants to directly message and all of that. Apart from the Love Justice piece on Facebook, which I don't know if your messenger or whatever is opened. Tell us, how can people, specifically for this protest now?
Specifically for this protest, you can contact me on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, on Instagram if you want to, honestly on all the platforms, on Twitter as well. And obviously I have a tiny YouTube channel, but there is a YouTube channel there.
You didn't tell us about that. People want to listen to you.
The truth is, Maiyegun, I haven't had time to upload. I haven't had time. My focus has been on this. And so it's been a while. The last couple of uploads on there would be a clip from the first time I was on your show. And I think, and then the promo video for this march. So my plan was I'll start uploading again once this is out of the way.
With what you just said, right? Every of your chats on Maiyegun's diary, Politico, right? You can always download the video, cut them out, and put them on that page. People are looking for you. Tell us, what's that channel? Tell us, what's the channel?
It's Love Justice Peace on YouTube. Yeah. On
and
YouTube.
friends are listening. So please give Julie a big boost and follow. Encourage her. She says
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you so much.
so she stopped uploading because maybe many of you don't really get to know that there is this brilliant lady doing a great thing. Now, Julie, back to the business, right? The scope of the protest on Saturday. Before the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you had this planned already.
I did. Yes,
show
I did.
support and bring solidarity. And your plan,
Absolutely,
was that you want to target, young children, young adults and the rest, especially those ones who probably should know more and get involved more in what is going on than the
I think
elderly.
I think last Saturday I was at a protest, and it was a mega rally organized by, it wasn't IPOB, it was organized, maybe Ohaneze Indibo organized it. And I got talking to a very young, well, I say very young, I don't know what young people think as young, they're all young, so you're all young to me, but a young lady. And I was so struck at how she was following the conversation. And then the bits she didn't understand, she was, okay, so we don't want this because we don't want that. Right. Okay, so this. So, it's very, very important that young people, I think the difference with their generation is when I was that age, my parents were, oh, hush, must never be spoken about, that sort of thing. But the difference is we want to tell them. And the more we tell them, the more we'll equip them. Because even if we fight this fight for them, which I hear a lot of people my age saying that we must fight this fight for them, even if we fight it for them, if they have no context, no history, no knowledge, they're at risk of making
lost on them anyway.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. So I'm hoping that I was impressed by, there were a lot more young people there. So I think if you've got children, Gen Xers, millennials, make sure you bring them and make sure you get them involved in this. This is important. This is even for those of us who don't feel that we're going to live in Nigeria again. The thought for me that even if I wanted to, I could never go back to Nigeria because maybe Asaba has been taken over by Fulani herdsmen or whatever. It's so heartbreaking. It makes me so sad, so it's worth a fight, guys. It's worth a fight. I know, and we're fighting the good side.
Involved when we always have, lots and lots of elderly people showing concern, showing up for rallies, showing up for marches, and all of that stuff. How do you get young people involved without involving their parents? Can we use their parents and tell them, the parents watching me right now, talk to their children about what is really going on? Absolutely.
And remember, guys, this is when I used to get so mad. I was in university in Nigeria when. Maybe if you Google this, Maiyegun, you might know, but there was this really bad protest that kicked off when students in Nigeria, they were very angry because it came to light how much money that Babangida and his wife, Mariam Babangida, they'd stashed away all this money. And then Nigerian students who were, because if you've gone to boarding school or if you've gone to university in Nigeria, you can know it can be really rough. And so this was a time where transport is a struggle. Buying your books for your lecture is a struggle, and then to hear that these Nigerian Babangida and his cohorts, they were living this life with so much money stashed away. Anyway, wave after wave, all the universities in Nigeria started going on protest marches, and I remember my father, when I'd argue with him and I'd say, we should be doing this, and his attitude was, please, if do you want me to go on my knees and beg you, don't go and protest. Don't join the protest. Don't do anything. That's the attitude. We're never going to change anything if we have that kind of attitude. With respect, my father was wrong. He was wrong. We shouldn't be telling our children not to because basically you're saying to your younger ones you're making them complicit almost. So I think this is something that we in our generation, let's make a concerted effort to change that. If we don't have each person in Nigeria, we need to have a complete, reset in the way we think. We shouldn't think of things as, oh, it's not there's a thing they used to say in Benin in those days, oh, it's not your papa money. So if all the money is being squandered, no, it's your money. Hold them to account. One thing I was going to say, by the way, I loved the People's Parliament. Loved it. Now Nigerians are sitting down and they're coming out and saying, yes, we need to do this. I've written a long list, and you're getting an email about that, Maiyegun. You're getting an email. I thought it was amazing. I was so happy. I was dancing around with joy. That's what we need. And then don't stop there. Go to the next stage. Think about, so if you have a local government in Nigeria, because think about this, think of achieving it. Don't think that we could ever be not successful. Think about it, think it positively, think to when we achieve it, and how, when we have this new type of government in Nigeria, you're going to hold people to accountable. So if they say that they're going to build a road, know how much money they need to build a road. If they decide, we have to dig further, so it's going to cost more, know exactly every kobo that they spend, know exactly what it is, and be involved. You have that power. These people are supposed to be public servants and work for you, but Nigerians have just allowed them to run riot over the years. We must put a stop to that. And we can do it.
It is stopping now. One thing that people have realized is that are fighting these people in the true sense of it. Don't fight them as an entity. Fight them individually, name their crimes, and pin their names underneath every crime. That works well. And I think that is one of the moves that the leadership of the Yoruba Nation campaign are deploying. The same move that the IPOB are deploying now. They reported individuals who have committed genocide. The injustice in Nigeria that pushed everybody to this precipice of we want to go, we want to leave, and this, all that. Yeah. Even though it's still not stopping, right? People believe that tackling them as an entity, Nigeria, is the reason why they even lasted this long. The indictment on these criminals should have started coming long time ago. Before now. So that probably there would have been a bit of a break in this, this murderous campaign of theirs, right? So I believe that, Julie, you said absolutely. So you believe that taking them on individual as well.
Totally. I mean, look at the Americans have done. Haven't they done a marvelous job on Abba Kyari and co? Because they've picked him off. So basically, we just need to look at the other people. I mean, he can't be the only person doing that. There must be more. There must be more. So this whole culture that, do you know that there's a movie that I watched, and I don't remember the name of it. I've been kicking myself all evening, where what's happened with Abba Kyari is the plot of the movie. It's a Nigerian movie. I'll look for it on Netflix and see if I can send it to you. Right. And my mind is boggling. So that means this is common knowledge. This is sensation to maybe people in the diaspora, but people in Nigeria are thinking, hey, we've known about this for years.
And it's actually the true picture of part of what brought us to this level, Julie, right?
Exactly.
It all started from profiling.
Yes.
We have a case of profiling people in Nigeria. And the number one victims of profiling in Nigeria are the Igbos. I keep saying it because I have my...
To be honest, I was sitting here in the studio, Maiyegun, just soaking up everything that you were saying. And my mind is boggling on so many levels. Here we are with Igbo people who are themselves, being subject to so much profiling. And what does this person, Hushpuppi, do? He sends this guy after another Igbo guy. What could he have done to you that is so bad that you had to have him jailed?
They say Nigerians don't hate oppression. Nigerians don't hate corruption. They only hate it when they are not the one doing it. Do you know that?
Totally. I mean, Nigeria is the only place where
people feel like their businesses are targeted.
Yes.
Their investments are targeted. Yeah. Their movements are profiled. Everything they do, they are never treated like the rest. They are always suspected and suspected and suspected, to the point that majority now felt like we are not welcomed around here. This same profiling since after the Civil War is what pushed the Biafrans that decided to stop the war back then to say again, we have to leave. We can't continue like this again. That injustice is still there. And the people who represent the institution who further entrench this injustice in different capacities they found themselves, be it a policeman, be it a police chief, be it a judge, and all of that. And when they bring somebody in that they say is an ESN member, is an IPOB member, that means it's automatically guilty. That is a system of injustice that keep people apart, and they felt like they are not part of it. That is not going. When people say, when we talk about the culpability and the consequences of their culpability in this crime, it is beyond money. It is beyond gift. It is further than that. If they have the power to take anybody away without court and keep him somewhere to torture him and do all of that on the order of a self-confessed fraudster using the state, just other things that they would have done in the name of Nigeria, because they are the policemen. And that is what,
Wow. And like I said, as you were talking, my mind was going, wow.
It's terrible, right? That the same thing, put it in this context, right? Somebody who is not a Hushpuppi, right, is really, really mad with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in that their ass old rock, okay? And that person has so much power that he can deploy security forces to track him anywhere. And in fact, to try and kidnap him from any part of the world. Somebody made that call, Julie.
Yeah. Totally.
And that person doesn't have the resources. He is using the resources of Nigeria to do that.
Absolutely.
Because he has access to it, right?
Absolutely.
Now, this same person, whoever they are, they have the same resources they have access to. They can't use it to track the terrorists at the back of their house. So you see the consequences of what they do with this power that eventually keep us all apart and will never bring us in any way together.
Here's the thing, right? I've worked in private practice, but what I've done recently, my practice has been legal aid, right? And the interesting thing is that when you look at a legal aid file and you compare that to maybe like in a commercial, it doesn't even have to be a city firm, maybe a commercial firm, right? Because when you earn legal aid money, your fees are depressed. So sometimes you might be earning 20% of what you might earn in private practice. Sometimes 30%. It certainly will never be, if you're on a good day, maybe 40% is what you'll get, right? But even with that lower amount of fee that we take, every penny is accountable. Every penny, every last penny. If I go to court and the legal aid agency knows that there's a train station that stops out of the court, I have to write a note and explain why I had to take a taxi to court. And I might say something along the lines, I've got 6 boxes of files, and the easiest way to manage it was to get the taxi driver to take me to court. And that's the only reason why I'm not asking for a receipt for a train ticket and I'm asking for a taxi, right? That's the way in Nigeria we need to jealously look after every single penny. That's the attitude that we need to have in Nigeria. If you don't look after in Nigeria, what people don't understand is that every time that somebody's right is breached, that's you that's at risk.
That's right.
That's you that is at risk. And in Nigeria, people just think that, it's the thing you say all the time. They came for the Jews and I said nothing because I'm not Jewish. And then they came until they come for you and there's nobody to protect you.
That's right.
You protect yourself by protecting other people. You will stand up for Nigeria if you stand up for other people. What motivates me to stand up is I think about my father. And my father, when my father got his degree in those days in Asaba, the party started from outside the village and they would dance all the way from the village to my grandfather's home. Try that today and see what the bandits might have something to say about that.
I know. Another thing I want you to touch on is that the rally on Saturday, which is going to be a solidarity rally between the Oduduwans, the Biafrans, the Middle Beltans, young, old, everybody should come out and this time around demand for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Demand for the end of the...
that's on every single sign. He's on the hashtag. There's a hashtag to that. and I encourage people to use that. So on all the signage, and if you make signage as well and then you bring to the protest, please be sure put that hashtag in there. Keep that hashtag trending, till it gets to the point. I remember with the NSAS protest, that's the other thing. I first heard about the NSAS protest from someone who has not been to Nigeria. They're not even Nigerian. That's how it got traction from someone. And I thought, why is he talking about Nigeria? Oh my goodness. And I jumped on it. And he was in there. He got the story before I did. And he's not Nigerian. So guys, that's the power of hashtags, right? Because when the hashtags keep trending, you keep it up, you keep it in the news. Every time the hashtag is trending, you go on Facebook, all the platforms, on YouTube, look at the trending topics. What we want to do is to push it right to the top.
And keep it there.
Yeah, and keep it there until we get what we need.
I like that. And I like it as a means of pressure. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too little.
Nothing is too small. And if you can't give money, then give a little bit of time. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. 15 minutes. If everyone forget 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Send that email. Even if you don't know how to construct it, just put it in your words and send it off to your congressman. This is globally. This is not just in the UK. This is the other thing, Maiyegun. I haven't had a response from my MP. And that makes me, because normally when you write to your MP, kick it in the long grass, and you get a kick it in the long grass response. Yeah, we've looked at it and we've spoken to the director of the BBC, blah, 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 kicks in the long grass. There's been no response. And so what that tells me is that they are taking time. They're worried about this. They're thinking. So I encourage everybody else, write to your MP. Keep it right up. Keep it up on the agenda. Write to your MP. They don't respond, chase them for a response. And then the hashtags, even if you don't know what to tweet, find a tweet that you agree with, retweet it 5 times. Get the person you send it to retweet it 5 times as well. That way it keeps on going up. It will keep trending. So yeah, we have levers to pull, guys. Let's pull them. And thank you, Maiyegun. You do a fantastic job as ever.
Oh, thank you for at least making up the other parts for me. You always complete every time you come on. Okay, Julie, I'm going to bring you back tomorrow. Tomorrow is in a bit. I'm going to be working tomorrow, but I have to be on tomorrow for Saturday's awareness, so to say. I will do the best too. It's been a pleasure having you tonight.
Oh, as ever. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You have a good one, and bye-bye.
And you.
Cheers. So that's Julie there. She's an amazing person, and she's always available as long as I call. And I'm so blessed, among others, with the type of friends I have on Maiyegun's Diary Politico. Thank you to every one of you. If you are just joining me, trust me, you haven't missed much. Go onto my YouTube channel. It's so easy to rewind and continue watching. Go onto my YouTube channel, Maiyegun's Diary Politico. Subscribe if you haven't already. To my friends there right now, before everyone drops out, I thought we would have taken that thumb up to 2,000 by now. You are still over 3,000. You can still give me that thumb up before you go. And to my friends who sent me this super chat and super stickers, as always, God bless you. Thank you for your generosity. To my friends who send me money, people actually send me money on the Cash App, on PayPal, and they just say, Maiyegun, take. I don't know. I just don't know how to say thank you to you more than just to say thank you, because your generosity keeps me going. It keeps my team encouraged. Now that I have to work 4 days a week, and during that 4 days a week, I've got 3 days for the family, 3 days for myself. Within that 3 days, I have to have the time for the family, have time for myself, and at the same time keep up the good work, as my friends will love to say. Maiyegun, keep up the good work. So when you support me, when you give me all this support, it's gives me the opportunity. Though you call it a one-man mopo, but I'm now beginning to have some team who actually work behind the scene. So when you go on Maiyegun's Diary Political YouTube and you see a video premiering, somebody is doing the job. A colleague at work once told me that he kept asking himself that sometimes when we are at work and he believed I'm so busy working, right, he would just see Maiyegun live. And he'll be like, this guy is here. You can't be live on YouTube. It's because some people are doing the work. So when you send me any support and all of that, you are keeping those people up to do the job and keep you informed. Premiering my videos are just to replay them to my friends who possibly didn't see them live, or they didn't see them live because of their own location and all that. But above it all, trust me, I am so thankful for the journey that we have all been on. And this journey has been so glorious, supportive. I can't thank you enough. So thank you very much for your time. Take your time to watch any other video on Maiyegun's Diary Politico if you have the time. And in fact, go on to the www.diasporaradiointernational.com to listen to the audio part of all Maiyegun's podcasts. They are there for you, old, new, latest, and all of that. So thank you to every one of you. Don't forget, give me that thumb up under this video before you go. I am going to see you again. And from here, good night. Odaro.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun.